Hey guys, it's Krista from Hilltop in the Valley. Welcome to my pantry. Today I wanted to bring you a few ideas for summer meals, but I wanted to go further than that because right now grocery prices have been going up very high, if you have not noticed. At the same time, there's a lot of us who are looking to find really good food for our family, things that are nutrient dense. I want to bring you a few ideas for meals for summertime that are going to be easy, creative, that's simple to put together, and yet are going to be also nutrient dense, come from a good source, and will be great on your budget as well. This is wonderful for us who are trying to have a frugal mindset and who are trying to feed our family healthy things, but just don't feel like we have the money to go out and maybe pay like a local butcher or something for the meat. Okay, so here's a few ideas for you. Let's get into it. Healthy meat is expensive, so purchasing from local farms can be far from possible when your budget is tight. The answer often given is to cook something like a whole chicken and use the bones for broth. But what if you're wanting higher nutrition and those chickens are just too spendy? Instead, you can also look for organic drumsticks or thighs. You can find them on clearance sometimes, or you can just find them at a really good price in certain stores. Like I have found these chicken drumsticks for a cheaper price at Costco. Those are two cuts that are less popular, and if you get a good deal on them, you can stock up, you can freeze them, and you don't have to grill them. Instead, you can cook them in the Instant Pot. A lot of people have never really thought of cooking chicken drumsticks in the Instant Pot for anything other than just a messy meal. But today I'm going to make chicken drumsticks instead of a whole chicken, as I've done before. You can check out my Christmas chicken recipe video, which is really great for all year round. This chicken, when finished, will be shredded and then stored for the week. Then we'll add water and salt and maybe an onion to the bones that we have from our drumsticks. Whatever sounds good, really. And then we will put it back in the Instant Pot for about 60 minutes, and I'm going to use the same bones to do this one more time. This will make a lot of chicken broth that we can also add to things such as rice, beans. You can add it to other sauces for foods, for noodles. Just really great to use, and you can also freeze it as well. This shredded chicken is great for so many things, from adding to casseroles, quesadillas, making rice bowls or chicken salads, to warming with a barbecue sauce for pulled chicken sandwiches. We even use some for enchiladas. I will confess that we also had a meal of drumsticks. So the container that you're seeing is not nearly all the chicken that I cooked. This recipe for chicken broth made 8 quarts, which I use in rice and beans and sauces. And you can easily make this into a very rich, high mineral bone broth just by cooking it longer. So we have a Mennonite-run grocery store right near us that offers foods, many of which are wonderful quality raised meat brands, kind of like Applegate. My highest priority at these stores is meat because the meat will say use or freeze by. So while it's nearing the end of its store shelf life, you can actually often just safely freeze it at your house and see if they have any clearance items that you can purchase. Include part of your grocery budget as just going towards clearance finds so that you can stock up on things when you find them. I wanted to include this fried rice recipe because so many fried rice recipes are empty of nutrients and they are just so high in sugar. The way that I start this recipe is by finding good meat sources. So usually a day or 2 or 3 before making this fried rice recipe, I have actually made some bacon for my family. And then I will just take part of that bacon and I will set it aside in the fridge, knowing that I will be making fried rice in a day or 2. I also have gotten some really great deals on just wonderful quality lunch meat from some of these clearance style stores. And I will take a ham for this recipe, a ham lunch meat, and I'll just chop it up in small pieces and fry it like that. And it gives just that same flavor of ham that you would have from bacon. So if you don't have bacon, you can also use ham in this recipe. So the first thing I want to do right now is to mince onions and then fry those in the pan. I'm using about a half of a medium onion. I will fry that in the pan. And then I'm going to put that into a bowl, put it aside, and then I will fry up a scrambled couple of eggs on the pan and put that in the bowl with my minced fried onion. The fats that I'm using to fry the rice is leftover bacon grease from when I fried up the bacon. So you're really just using that high quality lard. You can also use something like a coconut oil is great. I like to use about 6 to 8 cups of rice for this recipe, but here's the secret is you only want to fry it in smaller batches. So I'm only frying it at about 3 cups at a time because more than that is not going to actually fry much of the rice. And I do that also because the rice that is not fried, that has been waiting has actually developed a resistant starch, which is very healthy for the gut. And that is why I really like to make this recipe, is because I will fry some of the rice, but I often will add in some of the rice that is not fried and mix it in with the other rice. And that is actually very healthy for the gut as well. And while I am frying the rice, I add in coconut sugar. And I also add in a coconut amino. These are great for giving that sweet flavor, but also giving a lot of good minerals. I add it to a separate large bowl. Once I do that, I am able to mix in my meat and onions and eggs with the rice. I mix it all together to incorporate all of the sweet and salty flavors. You can also add green onions on top of this recipe. Those would be really great. You could add pineapple into this recipe, which would be really fun, especially for summertime. This would be a really great recipe to have on hand for a summer barbecue or picnic. But if you are really wanting the whole entire specifics to the recipe, let me know. And I will try and work on getting an actual recipe laid out for you. It is also great because if you make a big batch of this, you can set it in the fridge and refrigerate it. And like I said, when you refrigerate the white rice, this is jasmine rice that I've used in this one, it creates that resistant starch, which is really good for your gut. Just don't heat it up the next day, let it come to room temperature, and that will be giving you those benefits for your gut. All right, so I am going to make a family recipe. We didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid, and my parents, they strove to keep us eating homemade meals. We had a lot of rice and beans. Yep, we were one of those. And my dad is now known for his homemade refried beans in our family. If people come over, he'll offer them. You want a burrito? Yep, that's what you're getting. I'm not a huge advocate at this point of using beans for like a main protein source. I know there are so many reasons I would pick something like red meat that has a lot more nutrients in it. I've found that my brain, my body, it works so much better when I'm fueling myself with that. But if you're trying to source some healthy meats that are also nutrient dense like that, that can be spendy. And so if you're trying to go on a budget, it's a great idea to incorporate some beans into your diet as well. We always use the word protein as though it's the building block, but really protein is just a part of all the makeup of what meat provides, right? You're going for a lot of different things that it's giving you. To create a more nutrient dense and tasty bean recipe, we're going to use some of the broth that we made from our drumsticks. Today, with these beans, I'm using black beans. You are also welcome to use pinto beans. I do think that there is a little bit of an added health benefit with the black beans, and my kids do like the black beans, and so I'm going to use these. You can use these for tacos. You can use them for taco bowls. You can do a taco salad with these. You can add kind of a cold salad, or you can make a cold salad with the black beans. Use maybe some quinoa and put some veggies in, like some little chopped up onions and some sweet bell pepper. There's so many things you can do with these. You can also do refried beans. Most of these beans I'm making, I'm not going to refry, but I do want to give you a taste of what this looks like. Really not that hard, but it's not something you're going to want to do on a really hot day either, because it does add warmth to the kitchen with all that frying. So when I refry the beans, I'm going to heat up a good amount of oil in my iron pan on the stove. I want it to get very hot before I put the beans in. I also want to make sure that all the liquid that I can get has come off of the beans, because you don't want to put like water in with hot oil, right? Or you're going to have a ton of splattering and then get burned and you're not going to be happy. To fry these beans today, I'm using some lard, which is really just fat that came off of some really nice bacon that I got at a discount store. It's a great brand. It's some really high quality bacon, raised well. I love the brand that I got, and it was super cheap. And so this is a great way to just stretch your dollars as well, is to save those fats when you make meats, especially meats that are usually going to cost you more money. Save the fats from them. Try not to burn them or, cause a lot of smoking with those fats when you're cooking the meats, and you can save it. I hope that these have given you some ideas. I know it's so easy in summertime to think about the veggies, chopping up the cucumbers and either pickling them or fermenting them, using the zucchini, all of those things. But I really wanted to just show you some great base foods today, and to give you some ideas for those more costly items. So let me know what you think. I hope this has helped, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.